Hi guys, and welcome to this Kings of War Armada battle report. Today we're playing X marks the spot, and we'll be seeing the Basilians take on the Stoic Dwarves. Stay tuned and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's have a look at our Basilian Fleet. So we have an Abbess at the back, which is a veteran crew and has a master gunner ability. I love the Abbess, it's a beautiful looking ship, but it also seems to be quite a good sort of workhorse in the games that we've used it in so far. Let's see how it can do against the Dwarves. We've got a gun brig. I love the little indirect fire weapons, and I think a gun brig is going to be quite sort of handy in this scenario. It's got a veteran crew again, just for points usage, and I like the idea of just being able to shell things anywhere. We've got an Alohi at the side, which is a brilliant sort of main battleship. I've given it an Aegis shield because it gives it some real survivability, and the Ocarina of Korgan, so that I can start doing some wind shenanigans. And at the back we've got a Ger Panther with a lucky crew. I think for 15 points a Ger Panther with a lucky crew is a brilliant boat. So that is the Basilians. So now let's have a look at the Dwarves. So for the Dwarves we've got the staple I'm using in almost every fleet is a Grimstone. Good old Grimstone, it just deals out so much punishment. I've given it a veteran crew as well, just to make use of all those guns. He's got a Hunter, because I think for 10 points a Hunter's a brilliant little ship. And a Rune Axe, which has got an Iron Watch Marines and a Master Engineer. So I'm going to see what the Dwarves like in boarding, hopefully. I think the idea of this scenario is you'll have so many aspects around the islands getting points, and then you also have to go and deal with the enemy fleet, otherwise you're just going to get a sort of trounce, so to speak. But talking of trouncing, we've also got a Thunderer at the side. We're going to try that out, see what it does in this game. So let's get the table set up and let's get gaming. And here we are set up for X marks the spot. So in this scenario you score for being in proximity to the islands, which are in the middle. We've got the Dwarves over that side, sort of two-pronged attack, and the Basilians on this side facing them off. So all we've got to do is roll for initial wind direction and see where we're going. So it's starting from the northeast. Okay, so the gun break is first, moving forward is 4. There he is. Now then, what are we going to do? I'm going to turn him ever so slightly on his red arc, and he's going to move forward is 4 again. And at that point be completely out of range, so it's quite an interesting challenge. Playing diagonally across the table is actually, I don't think shooting is going to happen in the first turn, so positioning for next turn anyway. Aloha is next, he's moving forward 5. He obviously needs to turn because he doesn't want to crash into the back of his own gun brig. Like such. And move forward 5 again. And he's going to turn ever so slightly again at the end of that move step, just like that. The Grimstone's going to go up to speed 3. And start moving. So I'll do 1 to 5 again, guys. It's doing most of the games, it just keeps on a straight line, to be honest with you. So that's step 1. Step 2. And step 3, he's just going to bomb all the way forward. There we go. And from there, he can actually fire his heavy guns. It's going to be a very, very difficult shot to make into the gun brig. So let's see what he can do. Okay, so now there'll be 6s up to 7s for the range. Back down to 6s because the Grimstone's got a veteran crew. Up to 7s again because I'm moving at full speed. And up to 8 because of a small size target. So here we go, guys. Looking for 8s. Fishing for nothing, never mind. The Hunter's also going to go up to speed 3, and he's going to start moving those 5s. So, first movement, good angle, ever so slightly. Second movement. For his third movement step, he's going to use his engines again, just to angle ever so slightly. Well, he's going to use his engines for the first time this movement, and then he's going to bomb forward again. There we go. So he's obviously totally out of line and out of sight of everything, I believe. Let's just check. Yes, with weapons that are only broadsides. The hunters getting close to the island. It's going to be an interesting sort of close one, this one, I think. It's going to be an interesting manoeuvrable game. But let's get on to the Gear Panther. Okay, our Gear Panther is going to stay at speed 2. And he's going to pop forward his 5 first of all, so we've got 1 to 6 again. And he's going to turn in that movement step just ever so slightly. And pop forward his 5 again. And although I would love to turn again and have a volley at those, I don't want the Abbas running into him. So yeah, I'll call it the end of his turn there. Okay, our Abbas is going to go up to speed 3. And he's going to make its first move step. So, 4 to 8, turn ever so slightly. I'm going to do another move step. 8. Turn ever so slightly there. Another move step, 4. And make our turn almost parallel to the board edge. In fact, we're going to go a bit longer than that because I'm going to open up with heavy guns. Now I've got a veteran crew. I'm actually going to try and pop the hunter, and the reason for this is this hunter potentially could be the one that's caused quite a lot of points around this island. It's throwing for a long one. Let's put it that way. So it's 6s normally. 7s for the size, 8s for range, 9s for the speed of the target ship, 10s for my speed, back to 9s for my crew. So let's have a look. And there's nothing. I'm not wasting a master gunnery roll at this point in the game. Okay, the rune axe is going to stay at speed 2. And he's going to shoot forward 4. And he's going to shoot forward 4 again. And just position himself for next turn. There we go. Our Thunderer is going to go up to speed 3. Stoke the engines, boys. And he's going to move straight forward 4 for his first move step. Ooh. He's going to move forward 4 again for a second move step. At that point, he's going to make a turn. Like that. And move forward 4 again. There we go. Okay, at that point he's actually going to fire his indirect weapon at the Gear Panther. So it's 6s normally, 7s, to 8 for an indirect weapon, 9 for my speed. Oh dear. Let's have a look. But a 9 or a 10 on a crit is actually a critical hit, so yeah, there we go. Indirect weapons do d6 damage, so it's 5 damage off the hit, and a critical hit, so let's have a look at the table for a 3, which is an additional d6 plus 2 damage, so another 4, so 9 damage to the Gear Panther, and his speed is reduced by 1 because we've just hit the sail and engines. There he is. Have a bit of that, pal. The beards have taken the first points of damage. And that's the end of turn 1. So in the end phase, ships that are within the proximity of the islands actually score points. So if you're a small or tiny ship within 3, you score 3 victory points as they go on and dig up treasure and so on and so forth. And if you're a large ship, medium large or extra large should I say, if you're within 5 inches you score 1. Now small ships can carry a maximum of 6 victory points. Larger ships have no cap on that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use other dice just to mark next to them how many VPs are on each ship, because then if you sink it, it actually comes away from the total at the end of the game. So I'm going to count all that up and then come back to you. Okay, so 3 on this hunter, 1 on the rune axe, so 4 for the dwarves, and it's echoed over this side as well, 3 for the small ship, 1 for the larger one. Now it's the end of the turn. Instead of rolling for the dice, a very crafty charlatan type crew member who's going to go on top of the mast and blow on this ocarina of Corgan. So it allows me to move the wind rosette without rolling for it 2 spaces. So I'm going to move it 2 spaces down to there for turn 2, giving the Basilian Fleet first point activation for the rest of the turn. I think that potentially is a really, really, really powerful magic item and a really good use of it, and hopefully it means that we can jump on the Dwarves and do some damage. Let's see what happens in turn 2. Okay, we're going to start with our gunboat. It's going to drop down to speed 1. And move forward is 4. Nope, there we go. Take his 3 points of plunder with him. And he's going to actually have a cheeky shot at the Thunderer because he's a veteran. The gunbrig, the veteran ability is really, really useful. So he's going to have a shot. It's -2 for being indirect and -1 because the gunbrig is moving speed 3. So we're hitting on 9s, but 9s and 10s do crits. And unfortunately, it's a miss. Our Gear Panther is going to go back up to speed 2. He is going to move forward as 5. And he's going to make a turn away from the island. Move forward is 5. And make another turn like such. Our Abbess is going to stay at speed 3. And he's going to start coming around the side, so to speak. So first move, she's going to turn ever so slightly. Second move. And her third move. At that point, she's going to open up on the Thunderer. Let's try and actually do some damage to a dwarf ship, shall we? Okay, so we've got 3 heavy, 2 lights. It's -1 for my speed, -2 for the dwarf speed, +1 for my crew. So I'm hitting a total of -1 for 7s. So, come on boys, let's do some damage. Wow, that was awful. Ooh, do I reuse the Master Gunner? Yeah, I'm going to spend the Master Gunner upgrade because I need to start damaging these dwarves. Looking for 7s. That's a lot better. For 2, 4, 5, 6 damage and a critical hit, which is an 8, which is minor structural damage, another D3 +1 for another 2. So 10 damage in total, not a bad shot at all. Our low high is going to go up to speed 3. Make its first move step, taking its ill-gotten gains with it, as such. I'm going to turn in, using our red turning arc, just like that. Second movement, 7. And we're going to turn in again. Use that. Oh, there we go. And third movement, I'm going 2 to 7. I'm going to angle ever so slightly. And he's going to give that hunter a broadside. So we have 2 heavy, 1 close, and 1 light gun. It's 6s normally, -1 for the target's speed to 7s, to 8s for my speed. Unfortunately, to 9s for the target size. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so we've scored some hits at least. Straight 2 damage. The hunter's going to stay at speed 3. Let's move forward 4. And he's going to turn at the end of that step. And it's a red turn, so there we go. He's going to move forward another 4. Ooh. And he's going to turn slightly in at the end of that move step and move forward another 4. And then turn away as such. It's got 3 light guns at point blank range, but I'm moving at speed 3, so it's 6s normally, 7s because of this. -1 again for the size of the ship for 8s. However, at point blank I do get +2, so I'm going to 6s. Come on, there. It's a big pair of crits. First critical hit. Here's the 7, which is D6 +2 additional damage. So there's 8 damage so far, up to 10, and then another critical hit. Let's just get some more D6. For a 7, which is minus structural damage for another D3 +1. So that's 2, 3. So we've got a 3, 8 for 11, 13 damage in one shot from a hunter. Wow. Okay, our Grimstone is going to drop to speed 2. I'll swap that out. And he's going to move forward 4. Like such. And now he's going to make a turn. Now I think there we go. I'm going to go like that. And he's going to give the Alohi and the Gare Panther a volley. On the Gare Panther, 4 heavy. I'm in on 5s because I've got a rest from crew. Oh wow. Okay, so that's a straight 8 damage and a critical hit. For an 11, which is crippling damage, he takes an additional D6 +4 damage. Wow, okay, this is a volley and a half, isn't it? Yeah, so another D6 +4, and he's on fire. Amazing. Blaze Marker down causes D3 damage for 2 more. So in total, that shot has done 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 damage in one shot to that Gare Panther. Which added to the damage it's already taken, takes it to 35, 6, 7, 8, 39. Absolutely annihilates it. First sinking is a Dwarf sinking. But he's not done yet. He's got the same against the Alohi the other side. So we're actually hitting on 5s again here. Oh, it's not as good. Miss, miss, miss. But 1 solid hit for 2 damage. For a second move step, I'm actually going to use my engines to turn at the beginning. And I'm going to turn in like such. And move forward my 4. So let's find my ruler. That was such a brutal hit, that. He just absolutely annihilated the ship in one go. There we go. And he's not done yet. He's now going to give his front guns, and they're going to bow rake the poor unfortunate gun brig. So it's 2 blue. It's -1 because it's a gun brig. You know, fair enough. It's a smaller target. However, I am +1 because of my crew to 6s, and then I'm within 3. So I'm actually hitting on 4s, which is 2 solid hits at 2, 4. Doubled each dice because I'm within 3 to 8, and +1 for each one for a bow rate, for a total of 10 damage on the gun brig. Wow. Adding that to the 13 he's already taken, it takes him to 23. He's sunk 2 ships in 1 activation. The Grimstone is absolutely horrific. Another sinking for the Dwarves. Okay, Thunderer. He's going to stay at speed 3. Reason being, I think I can now. Sinking 2 ships in one volley, that's just incredible. So I'm going to go like that. Angle ever so slightly. Bit more. And again. Turning at the end of that movement and turning at the beginning of the next movement. Using my engines, and now I'm going to pop forward 4 again. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me any form of firing angle on the ship here. However, I'm going to score another 3 victory points for being near the island. So it's over to the Rune Axe as the final ship to activate. And he's going to drop down to speed 1. And he's going to use his engines at the beginning of his move step. So, our Rune Axe. Oh, that might be a bit... Ooh, I don't know. There we go. And at that position he's going to have his 4 guns into the Abyss. It's 6s down to 5s because of the size of the Abyss. However, the Abyss is moving speed 3, so back to 6s. For 1 hit, for 1 damage. Okay, end of turn 2. What an incredible activation by that Grimstone. I've never seen it just take 2 ships off the table. The rolling there was incredible, yes, but wow, the Dwarves are really, really hard as nails. I'm so very impressed with them. Anyway, points-wise, so, it's not all... Well, I'm saying it's not all over for the Basilians. It's got a point here for proximity to the island, and another point over there, so they've got 2. If you look at the Dwarves, however, up to 2 there, to 6 there, 3 there, 1 there, ready for the wind change. So, for an 8, is a no change, and unfortunately for the Basilians, that actually lets the majority of the Dwarf Fleet activate before them. So, let's see what happens in turn 3. Okay, into turn 3. So, our Hunter is going to make his movement forward to there, and then he's going to turn in like that. He's staying at speed 3. He's going to make another forward movement and turn. And turn at the end of the 3rd step, just like such. There we go. Now our Grimstone is going to drop the anchor, and the captain's going to get off, and he's going to sit on top of this island here and have his smoke his pipe watching the battlefield. No, he's going to go to speed 3 and see if we can't do some more horrific damage, which is what we want, isn't it? So let's go forward. 5. He's going to turn at the end there, guys. He's just going to hug the island. Turning at the end of that move step as well. And he's actually going to turn at the beginning of his final move step like that. And move forward his 4. We'll do 3 to 7. Oh, hello. And he's going to drop a, yes, partially obstructed stern rake on the low high, and see what we can do. Okay, so I've got 4 heavy. Normally kept on 6s, it goes to 5s. However, I'm moving speed 3, so it goes to 6s again. 7s because the target's at speed 3, and 8s because it's partially obstructed. You never know. Oh my word. 2 more critical hits. So that's 2 damage per hit for 4, double to 8 because it's stern rake, and 2 criticals. So first critical is an 11, which is crippling damage for another d6 plus 4. So another 6. And oh my word, another 11 for another d6 plus 4 for another 7. So both of those will actually put the ship on fire. So we'll mark it once. I don't know if you can be on fire twice for an extra d3 damage for another 1. So if we total it up, we've got 8, 14, 15, 16, 22 damage in one volley again. Wow. Now, although he's got an Aegis shield as well, it says if he takes 10 or more damage from an attack, excluding critical hits, so that's going to have no effect. It takes him another 22 damage, takes him to a total of 24. That's a volley and a half, it really is. Our Thunderer is going to drop down to speed 2, and he's going to move forward his 4, so I'm hoping won't take him off the table. No, there we go. And he's going to turn at the end of that move step, then the beginning of his next move step using his engines. So, end of the move step. Beginning of the move step. Hello. And he's going to drop a shell on the Abyss. So, it's normally 6s to 8s because of indirect. However, he's veteran, so it goes to 7s. To 6s because of the size of the Abyss, to 7s because of the speed of the Abyss. So, let's have a look. And it's a critical hit. D6 damage for 3 so far, and we have a critical hit. For a 9, which is major structural damage, D6 plus 2. So, total of 6. So 9 damage in one hit on the Abyss. Okay, so I put a low-high, he activates and can attempt to put the flames out. It's a skill test, so it's 5+ because it's a regular crew. If I get a 1, he actually blows up. Oh, he's done it, look, so he manages to put the flames out. And he's going to stay at speed 3 because he just needs to do a move as quickly as you can out of here. So, there we go. And he's going to turn at that point. Back into the table, move forward again, and he's going to move forward again, and at that point he's going to turn ever so slightly like such. So although it looks like he's actually sailing home, which you couldn't blame him, he's going to shoot his broadside down here at the rune axe. So it's 2 heavy, 2 lights. He's normally on 6s, -1 for his speed, 7s, -1 for the range to 8s. Nothing. Oh dear. Okay, our Abyss is going to move forward 4. And make a turn. She's going to move forward 4 again. Making another turn. And move forward 4 again. That's more like it. Let's give him a broadside. Okay, it's 3 heavy guns, 2 light guns, 2 close guns. Hitting on 5s because of my crew. Down to 3s because of the range. Back up to 4s because I'm moving at speed 3. Come on. Okay, that's not bad at all, to be fair. Let's total up the damage. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Doubled because of the range to 22 and a critical hit, which is a 4. So, 4 on the critical hit is major structural. It's D6 plus 2 damage. It's only got 1, but it's 22, 23, 24, 25 damage on the rune axe. And as much as they might be cheering, that's not even got him below his nerve. And it's the rune axe's turn to activate. So, let's have a look. Speed 1, we're going to use our engines to turn at the beginning of our movement, like that, and move forward our 4. Nope. Our rune axe is going to give a volley to that shift there. So again, so it's the rune axe is actually hitting on 6s down to 4s, down to 3s, back up to 4s because of the size. So 2 hits, not too bad at all. If we work it out, that's 3, 4, 5, double to 10 damage for the range. And we're now going to attempt to do a boarding action. So, he's done it, grappled them and pulls them together. Okay, so both crews engage in bloody hand-to-hand combat. Our Runax, it's got Iron Watch Marines, so dice. Let's see what we can do. So, we are on the first round, so it's +1, so 5s cause 2 damage. Oh dear. And natural 10 cause, so yeah, so 4 damage to the Abbess. Not amazing, but the Abbess does get to fight back. And has a crew strength of 7. So let's have a look. Oh dear. And does 6 damage back to the Dwarves. And although the Basilians won there, the Dwarves aren't crippled, they're 1 point off it. So the combat just continues next turn. So let's see about victory points. Okay, so it's 1 point extra for each ship, so there, 1 point for the Grimstone. The Dwarves are in a commanding lead here. Wind roll for turn 4 is a 4, which means that it moves 1 step clockwise. Okay, so our little bombo, not bombo, what's he called? A Thunderer, there we go. He's going to move forward 4, staying at speed 2. He's going to turn. He's going to move forward, it's 4 again. And he's going to turn again. And he's going to try and drop a shell on the Aloha and finish it off. And he's needing 8s. Critical hit for d6 damage for 3. And a critical effect is a 9. Another d6 plus 2 damage, so 4. So it's going to be 4, 7 damage in total to the Aloha. Taking him to 31, which is, wow, 5 points off sinking him. So, next one, we've got our little hunter. Now what's he going to do? Let's have a think. He's going to use his engines at turn 1, to turn like that. Move forward is 4. He's going to go forward 4 again, just missing this island. Fish up turn 2. And he's going to go forward 4 again for turn 3. And he's going to turn at the end of that step. And he's going to use his 3 light guns to give the Aloha a broadside. So let's have a look. So they're definite misses. So it will be 6s to 8s. Yeah, so 1 hit for another point of damage. Over to the Runax. He's going to stay and fight as all Dwarves do with his 5 crew. Oh, that's pretty nasty, I believe. So what have we got? So that's 4 damage. 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to the Abbess. But the Abbess does get to fight back. And the Abbess fighting back. Oh, that's a big hit. No. 2, 4, 6, so 10 damage back to him. That's actually crippled the dwarf ship, leaving him 1 point of actually being sunk. So we need a skill test, which we have passed to keep our nerve, but he's only got 1 hit point left. So what's the Abbess going to do in this activation? He's going to try and break away. I think he's got to try and break away, hasn't he? Try and break away and actually sink something. Yeah, okay. So the Abbess needs a skill test to break away, which he's actually failed because he needed a 4. So he's going to have to stay and fight anyway. 7 on the Dwarves. So they should kill that ship. Oh, it's not only just. So he's killed the crew on the dwarf ship. However, the Dwarfs do get to attack back. They are crippled, however, for nothing. So he's actually he's destroyed the dwarf ship. So we'll take that away. And I believe that's his VP's gone as well. Our ever gallant Grimstone is going to make a turn at the beginning of his movement. It's going to be difficult. I'm just going to have to move that island slightly out of the way. Let's turn at the beginning. And move forward. He's 4. Yeah. We're actually going to do that slightly differently. Attend the end of that first move step and then the beginning of the next move step, otherwise he will be off the table. So there we go. So that's our turn at the beginning. And oh wow, 6. And unfortunately, whichever way I look at this, there's no point in me going back and changing things, stuff like that. That move's actually taking him off the board. There's no way of getting out of that. So I should have gone down to speed 2, but hey ho, you live and learn. Our low high, again, this might be off the table. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The only thing I can do is turn in as much as possible. He's looking ropey. He's looking ropey. Oh no, he should be alright. He should be alright. He said it should be alright. Yeah, there we go. And he's actually going to give him a bow rake. Now he is crippled and he's hitting on 8s. So both miss. So actually that is the end of the turn, and actually swung quite a lot in the favour of the Basilians there, because this ship's captured the VPs off this one to go to 5. So the Basilians are on 7 and the Dwarves are on 9. However, you do score points for sinking ships. So it's closer than it looks into 10-5. Let's see what the wind's going to do. Oh, and actually, that goes up to 6. It's a lot. Yeah, the Dwarves are okay, to be fair. But he will go up to 6 as well, because he is within. There we go. Okay. Wind. Oh, it's a big 12. One step anti-clockwise. Okay, so our Dwarves going first. I'm going to take the Thunder down to speed 1. And move him forward 4. Takes him to about there. I'm now going to turn him in as far as he can without contacting that other ship. And now he's going to drop the shortest ever indirect shell onto that vessel in front of him. For a critical hit. Oh wow. Okay, so it's D6 damage on the Abyss for 4 and a critical effect for 6, which is minor structural damage, another D3 plus 1. So 7 damage to the Abyss in one hit. I can't complain with that at all. Our speed 3 Hunter is, what are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to go move forward, our 4 as such, and we're going to angle like that at the end of that move step. And the first thing we're going to do is give this Abyss a prow rake. So it would normally be 6s to 7s for my speed, to 5s for the distance, to 4s because of the size of the enemy ship. So we've got 1 hit there, which isn't too bad. So it's 1, it doubles up because of a prow rake, or bow rake should we say. So it's 2, 3 damage. He's then going to continue his movement, like such. Now, I was tempted to ram him, but I'm actually just going to turn away from him and move away. It's closer than I thought it would be. There we go. Our Abyss moves up to speed 1. And she's going to turn and hopefully be in a position to get a bit of vengeance. There we go. A bow rake on the Thunder, 3 heavy, 2 light, 2 close, hitting on 5s normally, down to 3s for the distance, down to 4s for the size of the target. Okay, that's not amazing, is it? Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 5 damage. However, we're a battle rake, so we're doubling up to 10, 11, 12, 13. Adding to the 10 the Thunder's already taken, she's just sunk him. Same again as the Hunter, and this is a stern rake, which is absolutely horrific. So we have all the dice again, so I measured it's 8 inches, so it's 5s normally, -2 though, because of the speed and the size of the target. So we're on 7s. Okay, so that's a miss. That's a miss. The rest of it's solid hits. Oh dear. Sorry, that's a miss. Okay, let's have a look then. So all this damage is double because it's a stern rake. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 damage on that Hunter, which has just sunk him. So this leaves our low high. He can still activate. He's going to nip down here and turn, and he's going to nip down here and turn again. I'll make one last. There we go. So end phase, he'd score a point up to 3, and the Abyss will go to 7. And I think at that point it's all she wrote. So if we work out victory points, you score these basically. So it's 10 for the Basilians, but you also get them for other things as well. They score 3 victory points for each enemy large or extra large ship destroyed or surrendered, and 1 victory point for medium and small ships. So Basilians managed to surrender 1 ship, they go to 11, and destroy 2 small. So they've got 13 Basilians, and the Dwarves managed to score 2. So that was a massive swing in the end, a massive, massive, massive swing. Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. Both of these ships are brutal. Both are brutal. That's horrific. That's brilliant when you get it into the right positions. Yeah, absolutely loving Armada. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, please subscribe and stay tuned for more. Empire of the Dead's on order, so that should be here very shortly, and we'll be painting them up and using them in battle reports as well. So stay safe, stay well, play Armada, and wherever you are in the world, happy hobbying.